All right. Settle down. We're jumping straight in. Everyone's blowing up my DMs, asking about all this CMT level 2 stuff.
Right.
Proper textbook material. They're like, Chris, how do you read the market's mind? And I'm like, bruv, I just look at the charts. But apparently, that's not good enough. So I've dragged in the only person I know who actually read the books, Mr. Forex and fancy stocks himself, Morgan.
You call me a nerd, then drag me on here to explain the nerd stuff.
Yeah.
Make it make sense, mate. You crypto lot think reading the market is just watching Elon's Twitter feed.
Oy, less of that? Sometimes it is. But look, let's be real. All these squiggly lines on a chart are just showing one thing.
What's that?
Human emotion, greed, and fear. And some indicators are better than others at showing you when people are about to, lose their minds.
Right.
Let's start with the big one, the one even the news readers mention when things get choppy, the VIX, the fear index.
Right, the VIX. Simple concept, isn't it? It's basically the market's anxiety level.
Yeah.
It measures how much traders are willing to pay for options to protect themselves. Think of it as insurance. When the VIX is high, everyone's panicking, buying insurance because they think the house is going to burn down.
Right.
When it's low, they're all sunbathing on the roof with a can of petrol, complacent.
Exactly. And what do we do when everyone's panicking, Morgan?
We go shopping. March 2020, the COVID crash. The VIX went to the moon.
Wow.
Higher than it had been since the '08 crisis. Everything was on a mad 50% off sale. If you aren't scared then, you're a robot.
Yeah.
But if you had the bottle to buy then, you did very, very well.
See, it's a contrarian's dream. In crypto, we've got our own version.
Okay.
The Crypto Fear and Greed Index. The only difference is our dial goes from extreme fear to absolutely delusional greed in about 6 hours. It's like the VIX on a mountain of cocaine.
Because your market is fundamentally unhinged, but the principle's the same. And that fear and greed index, the one from CNN for stocks, it bundles a few things together.
Right.
One of the most important is the put-call ratio. That's my bread and butter in the options market.
Joking. Go on then, Professor. Explain it for the crypto degenerates who think a put is something you put on a golf course.
Chicky. It's dead simple. Puts are bets the market goes down, okay? Calls are bets it goes up. The ratio just shows the volume of puts being bought versus calls. If everyone and their dog is buying puts, convinced the world is ending,
Yeah.
the ratio is high. It means the market is bricking it, overly bearish.
So you're telling me it's another contrarian signal?
Exactly.
When the put-call ratio is through the roof, it means the panic is at its peak and it might be time to start looking for buys.
Exactly. You're getting it. See? There's a brain in there somewhere. When that ratio gets to an extreme, it means all the sellers have already sold.
Okay.
All the scared money is out. So who's left to push the price down? It's like a stretched elastic band.
Oh.
That's when you look for the snapback.
Right. So we've got general fear with the VIX and specific bets with the put-call. But what about the health of the actual move? I see this all the time in crypto. Bitcoin will be pumping, looking strong.
Right.
But every single altcoin is bleeding out. It feels fake. It doesn't feel right.
Ah, now you're talking about market breadth. This is proper CMT stuff, but the concept is street smart. You're talking about the advance and decline line. It's not just about the index price. It's about how many individual stocks are actually going up versus going down. I use this analogy. Is the whole army marching with the general? Or is the general charging ahead on his own while his soldiers are secretly running the other way?
That's a sick analogy. So if the S&P 500 is hitting a new all-time high, but more stocks are declining that day than advancing,
Yeah?
that's a massive red flag. The general's about to get a spear in his back.
Huge red flag. It's called a bearish divergence.
Right.
And it's one of the most reliable warnings you can get. It tells you the rally is hollow. It's being held up by a few big names, your Apples, your Nvidias, while the rest of the market is crumbling underneath. We saw that before a couple of big pullbacks. And you can get even fancier with it with stuff like the McClellan oscillator, which measures the momentum of that AD line.
Okay.
Or my personal favorite, the ARMS index, the TRIN.
The TRIN. Yeah, I've heard of that. It sounds like something from Lord of the Rings. What's the deal with it?
It's a genius little thing. It takes the AD ratio and throws volume into the mix.
Okay.
It tells you if the big money, the real conviction, is flowing into the winning stocks or the losing stocks. If your AD line is down and the trend is high,
Yeah?
it means there's heavy volume on the selling side. It's like your soldiers aren't just retreating, they're dropping their weapons and sprinting for the hills. It screams, get out.
Impressive. So these breadth indicators give you the real story behind the headline price.
Yep.
And it's like looking under the bonnet of the car to see if the engine is actually on fire.
Exactly. And if you want to get really sneaky, you start looking at what the actual big players are doing.
Ah.
Not just the volume, but their real long-term positions. That's where the Commitment of Traders report comes in, the COT report.
Ah, the COT report. I feel like this is your secret weapon. It sounds like some MI5 level intel you'd get in a manila envelope.
It basically is for commodities and Forex. Every week, the regulator in the U.S. puts out this report showing the positions of three groups.
Right.
You've got the commercials. These are the big corporations using futures to hedge their actual business. Think of an airline hedging fuel costs or a chocolate company hedging cocoa. They are the smart money. They know their market inside and out.
Okay, so they're the true insiders. Who else?
Then you've got the large speculators. That's your hedge funds and big money managers.
Okay.
And finally, the non-reportables. That's the little guy, the retail traders. So you have the insiders, the big bettors, and the crowd. What do you do with that info?
You fade the crowd, obviously, and you follow the smart money.
Yep.
When retail is all in, you get out.
100%. When you see the large speculators are all in, massively long on the euro, for example, and the commercials are massively short,
Right.
you know a top is probably close. The dumb money is at peak greed, and the smart money is patiently taking the other side of that bet. You wait for that extreme,
And
and you position yourself with the commercials.
that's fascinating. In crypto, our version of that is on-chain analysis. We don't have a neat government report. We just stock massive wallets on the blockchain. We watch if the whales are sending their Bitcoin to exchanges to sell or if they're moving it to cold storage to hold. Same principle, just a bit more Wild West.
A bit more. It's pure chaos. But it leads to another classic indicator that lives and breathes in your world, Chris.
Yeah.
On-balance volume. It's all about volume.
Now, you're talking my language. OBV is simple and it's beautiful. If the price closes up, you add the day's volume to the running total.
Right.
Price closes down, you subtract it. It's a measure of cumulative money flow. The whole idea is that volume precedes price.
It's the fuel in the tank.
It is the fuel in the tank. If the price is drifting up to a new high, looking all shiny and strong,
Yeah.
but the OBV line is flat or even pointing down, what does that tell you?
No fuel in the tank. The move is fake. There's no conviction, no big money behind it.
Right.
It's a bull trap, a classic divergence. The accumulation distribution line is similar. It's a bit more complex, but they're both trying to tell you if the smart money is actually buying into a rally or secretly selling into a rally.
It's the number one thing I look for on a crypto chart. A pump on low volume is the biggest suckers rally in the book. It's designed to liquidate shorts and lure in FOMO buyers right before the rug gets pulled.
See, all these fancy indicators from CMT textbooks to your dog coin charts,
Yeah.
they're all just trying to measure the same few things: fear, greed, conviction, and participation.
True that. They're all just tools to stop us from being the exit liquidity.
Yeah.
To stop us being the Muppet that your commercials are selling to.
Exactly. You want to be the casino, not the punter mindlessly feeding the slot machine.